Hi, my babies. I miss you guys so much. I cannot wait to get back to work so I can be with you guys. But today I'm going to read you a little bedtime story. It's called Franklin's Neighborhood. This story is one of my daughter's favorite stories, so I figured why not share it with my babies. Okay, so Franklin's Neighborhood. Franklin could not count to 10 and back again and say the alphabet without stopping. He liked drawing pictures and he loved show and tell, so when Mr. Owl assigned the first project of the year, Franklin was ready. We live in a neighborhood, explained Mr. Owl, and our neighborhood is made up of houses and stores and gardens, said Snail. And a hospital, added Badger. Exactly, said Mr. Owl. Now for tomorrow, I want each of you to draw a picture of what you like best about our neighborhood. What would you like best? Asked Franklin. Mr. Owl thought for a moment. The school, he replied. Everyone laughed. See, the owl is showing turtle and badger and snail and raccoon the neighborhood, the pictures of the neighborhood. When Franklin got home, he hurried to his room. Do you want a snack? Asked his mother. No, thanks, said Franklin. I have a project to do. Franklin is so excited to go see and start his new project. Franklin took out his crayons and some paper. Then he sat down to think. He thought about the ice cream store, then the bicycle trail, and then the soccer field. Franklin sighed. Choosing the best thing about his neighborhood was not going to be easy. Franklin is having a hard time figuring out what to choose to speak and draw about his neighborhood, because there's so many beautiful things in his neighborhood. Franklin went to find his mother. Could I have that snack now, please? He asked. I think my brain is hungry. But after 3 fly cookies and 2 glasses of milk, Franklin still hadn't decided what he liked best. Why don't you go for a walk around the neighborhood, suggested his mother. That might help, said Franklin. He got his paper and crayons and off he went. Mom suggested to go on a walk on his neighborhood so he can choose what he loves best. And Franklin agreed. Franklin met Beaver in the meadow. I finished my project, Beaver announced. I picked the library and I went there right after school to draw my picture. Franklin thought about story time with Miss Goose, the librarian. That's a good idea, Franklin said. Maybe that's what I'll draw. He waved goodbye and headed for the library. This is Turtle and his friends at the library while Mrs. Goose reads to them. Franklin was sitting on the library steps when Fox came by. Have you finished your project? Asked Fox. Franklin shook his head. I was going to draw the library, but on the way here, I saw the movie theater. I can't make up my mind. I chose the fire station, said Fox. Franklin remembered the time Chief Wolf let him sit in the fire truck. That's a good idea, Franklin said. Maybe that's what I'll draw. He collected his paper and his crayons and set off. Look at Franklin in the fire station. See the red fire truck? And this is Fox, his firefighter friend. He really enjoys being in the fire truck. Franklin was outside the fire station when he saw Moose. Have you finished your project? Asked Moose. No, Franklin sighed. I was going to draw the fire station, But on the way here, I saw other places I like just as much. I like the pond best of all, said Moose. Franklin thought about swimming and skating with his friends. That's a good idea, Franklin answered. Maybe that's what I'll draw. He said goodbye and headed for the pond. All his friends are at the pond, and that's where Turtle is heading. See him diving in the pond? So silly, right, guys? Franklin was staring at the water when Bear came along. What's the matter? Asked the bear. I can't decide what to draw for my project, said Franklin. My best place is the berry patch, said Bear. Franklin thought about all the times he and Bear had picked berries together. See, said Franklin, another great idea. What about the park? Bear suggested. Franklin thought about playing with his friends on the swings and slide. That's it, declared Franklin. He said goodbye to Bear and hurried off. Here's Turtle and Bear at the berry patch. Don't forget that Turtle's name is Franklin, guys. This is Franklin, and this is his friend Bear. Franklin's mother found him sitting alone on the teeter-totter. Did the walk help? She asked. Not really, replied Franklin. There are so many great things in our neighborhood. Franklin's mother gave him a hug. Let's go home and talk, she said. I made your favorite supper. Franklin grinned. At least I know what that is. Franklin's mom found him at the park. See? This is the playground that Franklin likes to visit and play with his friends. Franklin felt a bit better after broccoli soup and fly pie. I'm ready to think again, he said. Then he asked his parents what they liked best about the neighborhood. I like the farmer's market on Saturday mornings, said his mother. Franklin smiled. He loved Farmer Rabbit's sweet peas and Farmer Squirrel's fly brownies. And I like belonging to my chess club, said his father. Franklin agreed. He liked belonging to the chess club too. See, Franklin is at the market. Those are one of his favorite places also. Then Franklin remembered something. Is it true that Mr. Heron is moving? He asked. Mr. Heron was the president of the chess club. Yes, it is true, replied Franklin's father. I'm going to miss him very much. This neighborhood won't be the same without him. See Turtle and his friends playing chess because he enjoys being part of the chess club. Franklin nodded. He was going to miss Mr. Heron too. Suddenly, Franklin knew what he wanted to draw. I know what I like best, he said. Franklin ran to his room and started working. Now Franklin figured out what he was going to draw of his favorite part of his neighborhood project. At school the next day, everyone was excited. It was time to see the projects. Raccoon went first. I drew the river, he said. I drew the forest, said Hawk. Finally, it was Franklin's turn. He unrolled a huge sheet of paper. It was covered with drawings of almost everyone that Franklin knew. I don't get it, said Beaver. See, it's time for them to all share their school projects. Franklin smiled. I drew my neighbors, he said. That's what I like best about my neighborhood. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed the book because I love this book. I also love my neighborhood. I know you guys love it. And I miss you, babies, so much, so much, so much, so much. I miss you a lot.